Turn your air conditioning on right now. Point the vents directly at your face. Take a deep breath. Do you smell something sour and musty hitting you immediately? That smell is not dirty cabin air filters. That smell is not stale refrigerant. That is active biological contamination living inside your evaporator core. Colonies of mold and bacteria are breeding on the cold, wet fins of your AC evaporator right now. Every time you run the air conditioning, you are breathing their biological byproducts directly. Dealerships quote $800 to pull your dashboard apart and clean the evaporator manually. They tell you the only way to reach the evaporator is through a complete dashboard disassembly. That is a deliberate and profitable misdirection. Your evaporator is perfectly accessible through the fresh air intake vent on your cowl panel. A $2 bottle of 70% isopropyl alcohol eliminates the contamination completely in 30 seconds. No dashboard teardown required. No shop visit necessary. No special foaming AC treatment kits authorized. The alcohol mist travels through the blower system and coats every contaminated fin surface directly. It destroys the cell membrane of every mold colony on contact through osmotic chemical action. This is the biological decontamination procedure that automotive shops buried to protect their teardown revenue. The automotive air conditioning service industry built an $800 repair around a biological problem. To understand why their solution is fraudulent, you must understand the physical environment inside your AC system. Your evaporator core sits inside the HVAC box behind your dashboard. It is a dense matrix of aluminum fins and refrigerant tubes, approximately the size of a thick book. Refrigerant flowing through the evaporator tubes drops the surface temperature of the fins dramatically. On a hot, humid day, the fin surface can drop to 35 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Warm, humid cabin air passing across these cold fins loses its moisture immediately through condensation. This condensation is the water that drips from under your vehicle when the AC is running. The evaporator fins are perpetually wet during AC operation. When you shut the engine off, the refrigerant flow stops and the fins begin warming. Moisture that condensed on the fins during operation does not drain instantly. The fin matrix retains residual moisture for hours after shutdown. This creates a warm, dark, persistently moist environment inside the HVAC box. This is the perfect biological incubator for mold, mildew, and bacteria growth. Spores enter the system through the fresh air intake that draws outside air into the cabin. They land on the moist fin surfaces and establish colonies within days. The most common species found on automotive evaporators are Cladosporium and Aspergillus molds. Both species produce volatile organic compounds as metabolic byproducts. These VOCs are the chemical source of the sour, musty, locker room odor you smell from the vents. Shops diagnose this correctly as evaporator contamination. Their solution is to disassemble the dashboard to access the evaporator directly. Dashboard disassembly on a modern vehicle takes 6 to 8 hours of labor. At $120 per HR shop rate, labor alone reaches $960 before any cleaning materials are added. The cleaning itself involves spraying the evaporator with an antimicrobial foam. The foam costs $15 at any auto parts store. You are paying $960 in labor to apply $15 of foam to a surface you can reach for free. The foam application takes approximately 5 minutes once the dashboard is apart. The remaining 7 hours and 55 minutes of the bill is pure teardown and reassembly labor. That labor is completely unnecessary because the evaporator is reachable through the air intake system. A $2 bottle of 70% isopropyl alcohol, atomized through the blower fan, reaches every fin surface. The blower motor distributes the alcohol mist uniformly across the entire evaporator matrix. Every contaminated surface receives direct chemical contact simultaneously. No teardown required. No dashboard removal necessary. No 5-figure hands touching your interior trim pieces. The biological decontamination is complete in 30 seconds. The microbiology of alcohol-based decontamination is completely documented science. Isopropyl alcohol at 70% concentration is the global standard for surface disinfection. Medical facilities, food processing plants, and electronics manufacturers all use this exact concentration. The 70% concentration is specifically chosen over higher concentrations for a critical chemical reason. Pure 100% alcohol evaporates too rapidly to penetrate cell membranes effectively. The 30% water in 70% IPA slows evaporation and increases cell membrane contact time. This extended contact time is what allows the alcohol to penetrate and destroy the membrane completely. When isopropyl alcohol contacts a mold or bacterial cell membrane, osmotic disruption occurs immediately. The alcohol molecules are small enough to pass directly through the lipid bilayer of the cell membrane. Once inside the cell, the alcohol denatures the protein structures essential for cellular function. Enzymatic proteins responsible for metabolism unfold and lose their biological activity permanently. The cell cannot repair this denaturation and dies immediately. The alcohol simultaneously dissolves the lipid components of the membrane itself. The cell loses structural integrity and ruptures. Every mold colony on the evaporator fin surface is destroyed on first contact with the alcohol mist. The metabolic byproduct compounds responsible for the odor are also dissolved and eliminated. The mist reaches every fin surface because it is delivered by the same blower motor that circulates cabin air. The blower creates turbulent airflow through the fin matrix from front face to rear face. Alcohol mist carried by this turbulent flow contacts every surface the airflow touches. This is physically superior to manual spraying from a single access direction. The blower delivered mist achieves uniform coverage that hand spraying can never replicate. The chemical kill happens simultaneously across the entire contaminated surface area. The evaporator is biologically sterile within 60 seconds of treatment. The sour odor is eliminated permanently because its biological source has been eliminated permanently. This channel is exposing the profitable gap between what shops charge and what chemistry actually costs. Subscribe right now and stay with every chapter of this series. Next week, we expose the stripped fastener nightmare completely. We reveal the $3 valve grinding compound that removes any rounded or seized bolt without drilling. Following that, we expose the slow tire leak industry and the $5 bead sealer that stops persistent rim leaks forever. Share this with every driver breathing mold spores through their air conditioning vents right now. Hit the like button and push this biological truth into the algorithm. Stay right here because the evaporator decontamination protocol begins immediately. You must understand the full biological life cycle happening inside your HVAC system. Most drivers assume their cabin air filter stops all biological contamination from entering the system. This assumption is exactly what shops rely on to keep you confused. Your cabin air filter captures particles above a certain micron threshold. Mold spores range from 1 to 30 microns in diameter. Standard cabin air filters capture particles above 10 microns effectively. Spores below 10 microns pass through standard filters completely unimpeded. HEPA-rated cabin filters capture particles down to 0.3 microns. But even HEPA filters only capture airborne particles during active filtration. Spores already established on the evaporator. Fins are not airborne particles. They are sessile colonies attached to the metal surface. Replacing the cabin filter does nothing to the established colonies on the fins downstream. This is why drivers replace their cabin filter, expecting the smell to disappear, and nothing changes. The smell source is not in the filter. The smell source is past the filter on the evaporator surface. Additionally, mold colonies produce volatile gaseous compounds, not particles. These VOC molecules are true molecular gases with diameters measured in angstroms, not microns. No particle filter of any rating captures molecular gases. The odor bypasses every filter on the vehicle and enters the cabin unimpeded. The only solution is to eliminate the biological source producing the gaseous compounds. Shops correctly identify the evaporator as the source. They incorrectly claim teardown is the only access method. The fresh air intake cowl on every modern vehicle draws outside air before it reaches the blower and evaporator. This intake is the upstream entry point for the entire ventilation system. Anything introduced at this point travels through the blower and across every evaporator fin surface. This is how foaming antimicrobial products injected at the intake reach the evaporator without teardown. It is also how atomized isopropyl alcohol reaches every contaminated surface for $2. The shops selling $800 teardown services know this intake method works. They know because the foaming products they sell at $50 per can use this exact same delivery pathway. They charge you $800 for dashboard teardown and then spray foam through the intake anyway. The teardown is theater designed to justify labor charges. The actual chemical application takes 30 seconds through the intake cowl. You have been paying $800 for 30 seconds of $2 chemistry inside a $960 labor wrapper. The financial mathematics expose this scam completely. A dealership evaporator cleaning service costs $800 in labor plus $50 in antimicrobial foam materials. The biological contamination returns within 12 to 18 months under normal driving conditions. Over 10 years of vehicle ownership, you pay $800 every 18 months for this service. Total expenditure over 10 years reaches $5,600 on evaporator cleaning alone. An automotive foaming AC treatment kit from the parts store costs $50 and lasts one application. The contamination returns in 12 months, and you purchase another $50 kit. Over 10 years, you spend $500 on foaming treatment kits. A 32-ounce bottle of 70% isopropyl alcohol costs exactly $2. One bottle provides enough alcohol for dozens of complete treatment applications. Annual treatment cost with isopropyl alcohol is effectively zero after the initial $2 purchase. The dealership AC cleaning business cannot fund operations on $2 per customer lifetime. They require the 18-month contamination return cycle to maintain their revenue. Your sour AC smell is a recurring billing event they profit from on a fixed schedule. Here is the exact evaporator decontamination protocol. Step 1. Purchase a 32-ounce bottle of 70% isopropyl alcohol from any pharmacy. Confirm the label shows 70% concentration specifically. Higher concentrations evaporate too rapidly for effective biological contact time. Lower concentrations contain insufficient alcohol for complete cell membrane disruption. 70% is the scientifically validated antimicrobial concentration for this application. Step 2. Pour the alcohol into a clean plastic spray bottle with an adjustable nozzle. Set the nozzle to its finest mist setting rather than a direct stream. The finest mist creates the smallest droplet size for maximum airborne distribution. Step 3. Start the vehicle engine and run the air conditioning on maximum fan speed. Set the system to fresh air mode, not recirculation mode. Fresh air mode opens the cowl intake and draws outside air through the system. Recirculation mode closes the cowl and will prevent the alcohol mist from entering correctly. Set the temperature control to maximum cold to keep the evaporator fins at their coldest temperature. Cold fins retain moisture and provide better surface adhesion for the alcohol mist. Allow the system to run on these settings for 2 full minutes before introducing the alcohol. Step 4. Exit the vehicle and locate the fresh air intake cowl on the exterior of the vehicle. On most vehicles, this is a plastic grill located at the base of the windshield in the cowl panel area. It is the opening through which outside air enters the ventilation system. You will feel strong airflow being drawn inward when you hold your hand near it with the fan running. Step 5. Insert the nozzle of your spray bottle into the intake grill opening. Begin spraying the alcohol, mist in continuous bursts, directly into the intake airflow. The blower fan will immediately draw the mist through the system and across the evaporator fins. Continue spraying for a full 30 seconds without stopping. You are delivering a sustained chemical treatment to every surface the airflow contacts. Step 6. Enter the vehicle immediately after the 30-second exterior spray. You will notice the alcohol smell reaching you through the vents within seconds. This confirms the mist is traveling correctly through the full ventilation path. Step 7. Spray one additional 10-second burst directly into each individual vent opening inside the cabin. This ensures alcohol reaches any surface areas with reduced airflow from the main blower direction. Step 8. Turn the fan to its lowest speed setting and allow the system to continue running for 5 minutes. Low fan speed extends the alcohol contact time on the contaminated surfaces. Extended contact time ensures complete cell membrane penetration and biological kill. Step 9. After 5 minutes, shut the air conditioning off completely. Open all vehicle windows and allow the interior to air out for 10 full minutes. Alcohol vapor concentration inside the cabin will be noticeable, but not harmful at this level. Ventilation clears the vapor completely within minutes. Step 10. Restart the air conditioning on normal settings and take a deep breath from the vents. The sour musty odor will be completely absent immediately after successful treatment. The biological source has been chemically eliminated and the metabolic VOC production has stopped. Perform this treatment every 6 months as standard preventive maintenance. 6. Monthly treatment prevents colony reestablishment before it reaches odor-producing levels. The entire preventive maintenance program costs $2 once and takes 4 minutes twice per year. You just performed a complete biological decontamination of your vehicle air conditioning system for $2. This is a direct assault on the $800 dashboard teardown industry. Built on accessible chemistry, they hide from you. Medical facilities worldwide use 70% isopropyl alcohol as their validated surface disinfection standard. The automotive service industry chose an $800 labor wrapper, around $2 of pharmacy chemistry. Their evaporator cleaning revenue model collapses against a spray bottle and basic microbiology knowledge. Share this with every driver who grimaces when they first turn on the AC in summer. Share it with anyone who has paid for professional AC cleaning and watched the smell return within a year. Every view pulls another dollar from the unnecessary teardown machine. Every subscription keeps this biological chemistry knowledge permanently free and accessible. In the next video, we completely expose the stripped fastener extortion industry. We reveal the $3 valve grinding compound that removes any rounded or seized bolt without expensive extraction tools. We show you exactly how mechanics profit from stripped bolts they caused during previous service visits. Stay disciplined, stay chemically armed, and never authorize an $800 dashboard teardown for a $2 biology problem.